All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to take the abstract concepts of Microsoft's cloud adoption framework and translate them into a concrete, high-stakes business thriller. We'll be using the Govern Global case study to break down exactly what you need to know to architect a winning enterprise AI strategy. If you're prepping for the AB 100 exam, or, if you're the one actually leading the AI charge at your own company, understanding how to govern and scale these systems is absolutely critical. We're going way beyond the theory today to look at how this all plays out in the real world. So, we need AI. This terrifying three-word mandate from the board was the actual inciting incident for Bingo, Govern Global's head of AI. Think about it. No specific use cases, no budget breakdown, literally just, we need AI. But Bingo knew from some pretty painful industry experience that a list of tools is absolutely not a strategy. I mean, buying licenses and spinning up agents might technically work for a minute, but without a real foundation, it organizationally fails. He needed a solid framework to turn those three little words into an actionable, governed architecture, and he had to do it in just 14 days. Here is our roadmap for the explainer to help you absolutely crush the AB 100 exam. 1. The board's AI mandate. 2. The 4 phases of AI adoption. 3. Prioritizing AI use cases. 4. The Three-Band ROI Model. 5. Evolving the AI COE. And 6. The AI Maturity Model. Okay, let's hit Section 1, the board's AI mandate, vision versus strategy. Moving right into Section 2, 4 phases of AI adoption, the CAF blueprint. To bring some actual structure to the chaos of that 2-week deadline, Bingo's team leaned on Microsoft's cloud adoption framework. Why? Because each phase operates as a strict, non-negotiable gate. You simply cannot jump to deploying use cases without first aligning your leadership and establishing a backlog. In the strategy phase, you really just need executive alignment on objectives. No specific use cases are required yet. Then, in the plan phase, you translate that vision into a scored backlog of specific, measurable scenarios. Next up is the ready phase to build your foundation. And finally, the adopt phase, where you actually deploy, measure, and iterate. Skipping a gate isn't being efficient. It's basically building your AI house on sand. Which brings us to a massive roadblock the team faced. Supra, the governance lead, strictly enforced this ready phase gate. The platform architect actually wanted to skip it and just fix things later, but Supra reminded the team that you need all 3 of these elements live, not just 2 out of 3, all of them. You absolutely must have sensitivity labels applied across your data estate, your data quality has to be validated, and a governance framework must be active before a single deployment ever happens. Now, you might be wondering, why can't we just fix the labels after we ship? Well, you literally can't because of the on behalf of or OBO identity pattern. AI agents inherit a user's exact permission scope. If your foundational data isn't properly classified and labeled, the agent cannot correctly enforce those boundaries. And the result? Users could suddenly retrieve highly sensitive content that they definitely shouldn't have access to. The governance foundation absolutely must come first. All right, Section 3, prioritizing AI use cases, the deployment dilemma. So, moving into the adopt phase, the team faced a really tough architectural decision. Which AI agent should they actually build first? Comparing our 2 main options presents a classic AB 100 exam dilemma. The claims processing agent offers massive business value, right? It reduces a 14-day process down to just 4 days. But because it handles HIPAA-regulated personal health information, the compliance risk is incredibly high. That makes its initial feasibility very low, especially since Govern Global didn't have their full governance framework battle-tested yet. On the flip side, the HR policy agent offers moderate value, sure, but it is highly feasible and carries super low risk since it just accesses internal SharePoint policies. Abhi, the engagement manager, made this pivotal rule crystal clear to the board. You deploy the agent you are ready to govern. That made the HR policy agent the only correct first choice. You never, ever deploy the agent with the most impressive tech demo if your governance foundation isn't ready for it. Deploying that high-risk claims agent first could have led to a massive compliance liability, and that would have set the whole AI program back for years. Let's move on to Section 4, the Three-Band ROI Model, proving value. With the HR use case officially selected, Abhi now had to prove its financial value to a highly skeptical CFO. And of course, the CFO just wanted a single, simple ROI number. But Abhi brilliantly countered by explaining that a single ROI number is basically just a wish. Instead, a three-band model, built on a precisely measured baseline, provides a forecast that executives can actually use to allocate capital. So, before deploying anything, you measure exactly how long HR policy questions take today. Then you forecast. The conservative band assumes only 40% of queries get automated. The expected band assumes 70%, and the optimistic band assumes 85%. This model lets executives see exactly what level of return they'll get at varying levels of risk and adoption success. Next up, Section 5, Evolving the AI COE from Builders to Governors. As the HR agent launched successfully, Govern Global formalized an AI Center of Excellence, or COE. But its role had to change pretty drastically as the company's AI footprint started growing. It's so essential to understand that this COE is not a help desk, and it's definitely not just the IT department. It relies on very distinct roles. You've got the Governance Council setting strategy and reviewing high-risk use cases. Delivery teams handle enablement and measure that business value, but pay close attention to the AI champions. These are not technical trainers. They are trusted peers right there within the business units who model tool use and answer the simple questions. They create a kind of grassroots adoption velocity that top-down corporate programs simply cannot achieve on their own. Notice the stark contrast here between the COE acting as the sole builder in the early days versus transitioning into an advisory body later on. In stage 1, the COE builds everything themselves, and they kind of have to just to figure out the standards and write the governance rules. But once you have stable agents and published templates, having the COE build every single thing creates a massive, massive bottleneck. For the exam, you really need to recognize the exact moment this transition must happen. When you see these 3 triggers in a scenario, templates are published, business units can actually follow them, and the central COE queue is blocking progress, the answer is never hire more COE staff. Actually, scratch that. It is literally always evolve the operating model to advisory. The COE stops building and starts governing, letting those business units own their own delivery. And finally, Section 6, the AI maturity model, mapping the journey. Let's step back for a second and map Govern Global's entire journey across the 3 stages of enterprise AI maturity. You can really see how an organization moves from cautious stage 1 exploration. That's where they're testing the waters with low-risk projects like the HR bot, while the COE is heavily centralized. Then, they move to optimizing in stage 2, where multiple agents are live, governance is established, and the COE shifts to advising. Finally, they reach stage 3, the transformational stage. This is the big one where core business processes, like that massive 14-day to 4-day claims automation, are fully realized and deployed. So what's the ultimate takeaway from this explainer? It's that AI architecture is never just about the coolest tech demo. It is always, always about building a governed, secure foundation first. Every decision you make, whether it's picking a platform, defining your ROI model, or deciding which agent to launch first, has to trace directly back to your organization's real requirements and its readiness to actually manage compliance and risk. As you prepare for the AB 100 exam, or as you step up to lead your own enterprise transformation, I want to leave you with this critical question. Are you taking the time to pass through the Cloud Adoption Framework gates, set up your governance, and empower a COE? Or are you just buying licenses and hoping for the best? Because a true AI strategy is built from the ground up, tackling the problem first. Thanks for watching, and keep building smart.